Well, my name is Martin Espejo. I'm working here as a recruiter. I'm working right now for Altice USA, previously known as Cablevision.
So we've got Allie Ryan here.
My name is Alan Morado. I'm a talent acquisition specialist, just like everyone else.
We have our very own Jennifer in the house.
My name is Florencia Megui. I'm the Director for Sales for Solutions in Latin America, or South America I should say.
My name is Brenda and I'm a talent acquisition specialist.
We have Jared Miller with us, who is a new hire on the industrial team.
Well, for me it's like another regular holiday. We don't do anything special. I know some people have like typical food and I don't know, they dance folklore. Not me or my family. For us, it's just like any other holiday, so nothing special, sorry.
Okay, well, we usually celebrate with family. And we have a swim party, we cook out, and we watch fireworks. That's what we really do. Maybe we do that 2 or 3 times in the weekend.
Okay, well, usually what I do is I get together with my friends and we do a big meal. We do something called locro. It's like a big stew where you get corn and pig's feet and bacon and a lot of things that you do for a bunch of hours and usually eat together or drinking wine.
Wow, that's a big question. I've had over 20 Independence Days in my lifetime. They started off pretty standard, going to whatever family gathering I guess was happening in Connecticut, where I'm from. Normally everybody took the day off, so we could maybe go swimming or eat good food. I have a good friend who makes really good cheesy potatoes. She does that every year. I like fireworks. They freak me out a little bit. I'll be honest. I like them far away, you know. So seeing them in the distance is great. I'm not a big fan of the ones up close that people try and do like on their own, kind of 5 feet away from me. Those freak me out because a spark's gonna fly up and it's gonna catch me off guard.
I usually get together with my family and eat a typical Argentinian meal, especially in winter. Like there's this one called locro, a typical stew with corn and beans, and it's very warm for the winter.
Being from Texas, I'm from a small town, so absolutely like to typically go out to a ranch, fireworks on our own, at our own risk. Absolutely like to go on 4-wheelers and just have kind of what you would think a Texan would do, even ride horses if need be, and absolutely got to have a good barbecue.
Nowadays I actually celebrate two Independence Days. One for Argentina, the other one for Mexico, because I'm Mexican national. Usually what I do in the Argentine one is just to get together with friends on the weekend. We do Argentine things, which is namely barbecue and asado. We do an asado, and then we have a couple of beers. On the Mexican side, we do pretty much the same. We get together. The thing with Mexican independence is that it is really food centered. So we try and make Mexican dishes as best as we can with the things that we have here, and we traditionally sing the anthem, which is like the national thing there. So the tradition goes that at 11 p.m. the founding fathers gathered the people and then they made the bell, this giant bell with the sound, and that's when we traditionally sing the anthem. So we kind of do that at all of our neighbors.
Well, Independence Day to me is our national freedom. You know, it's definitely something to celebrate. So it goes back to like 1941, I believe, or 1940. Yeah. Am I right on that, Tab?
I will have to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
I'm not as American as I thought.
I think it was like the 1800s.
Maybe it was 1840.
I thought it was 1776.
I think it was 1776.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's our 240th anniversary this year.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of the national anthem.
Independence means that we can have minds of our own, a government of our own, and that we don't depend on Spain anymore. So it means that if I wanted to move to Europe, I'd have to generate some way to get there because I don't have a Spanish passport.
Independence, to me, I relate it very much to my economical independence. Independence to me is to be able to live alone and be for myself.
Freedom. Freedom from thought and prejudice and judgment, where it could mean so many different things, and not even necessarily being independent from someone, but as a team. Corn Ferry, right? We want to be independent from the competition, but we want to do it together. So it's a very relative question that means so many positive notions, even though it can possibly be a negative connotation.
I would just go to the easy one and say not being dependent on things, but I would say, I experienced independence when I came here to live, so I do pay for bills now, and I don't really ask for permission for many of the things that I do. Not really in my working place, but in my outer side of life I do. So I think it means, the ability to say, let's just, buy a home or walk home or whatever.
For me, independence is the ability to do what you want, take your own decisions on your own, without having anyone controlling you or what you decide.
To me, it's like the ability to do as you want on your own without having to ask permission or receive validation from somebody to go and do what you want to do. It's something that I see is very important in my life. I don't think it's, kind of just say, oh, as a country we have independence, but as an individual, you want to be able to have independence so that you can accomplish what you specifically need to do, not maybe what, your parents want you to do or your spouse or whatever. It's really a individualistic way of looking at things.
I would be interested to see what they have to say about the internet. Everything we have now is derived from computer or internet, not scribed and sent via snail mail, rather. Snail horse, or even train. That's a great question. There's just no telling, because our time's so much different than their time. But I think as long as we continue to provoke the core values of what the country was founded on or what their values are, they might even be different than ours. But as long as we stay, going back to the word, independent on our thoughts, but do it as a group, I think they would be quite proud.
I think they would be proud of the level of organization that we have. Everything that we do is directed towards the benefits of corporations, but also to the benefit of human beings, workers, and employees of the world. So I think that's a nice thing.
Me personally?
Yes.
I think that they would look at what I do now and be proud of me, be proud of Allie Ryan. I think so. I would say that good motives. I think they would find me a little quirky, but they would. I think we'd have a good time.
Well, I think they did the same kind of work also, in a strange kind of way, in horseback riding back then. But they also had to recruit, people who believed in the cause and who were wanting to fight off the Spaniards and to get our independence. So I think they'd understand it. I don't know if they'd understand the whole technology that we used. I don't think they had Taleo back then, but I think ultimately they still had to find people to follow them. So.
Okay, well, I don't think they even had this back then to find job. I think they would be very pleased with the kind of job that I do and that we all do here. because we are helping others as they did in a different level. We're not getting independence for anyone, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit, but not independence on its own. But we do help people. We try to get better life for people. So I think they will be really pleased with what we do.
I think they would be very proud because I'm definitely a people person and I get along well with most people and I work hard.
And you
so-
keep this office running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would be proud.
We work together as a team. That's what I can't do it alone. So, yeah.
I think they would be pretty amused of the nature of the work. It's silly to think that there was not recruitment at that time, the 1810s or whatever. But I think they pretty much did it by force. And I would say they would be amazed at the degree of respect to human rights that we have now. Not to mention our tools like communication, clean water, toilets, and electricity, which are I think kind of a big deal now.
I think I would rather be independent because this whole conversation I keep saying of independence can also mean doing it together as a group, but just independently from another group. And I would rather do that and work as a team and separate ourselves from the competition or separate ourselves from whatever area that we're trying to promote than go on my own. And I think as a group you just succeed more than trying to do everything by yourself.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be... freedom sounds like a really catchy word, so I think many people would lean towards freedom, but I would rather choose independence. When I first started, riding the bike, I felt independent from the bus system, from the triple transportation system, and I think that's the core of feeling independent. So I lean towards independence.
It's a really good question. I think you can't really have one without the other. They're like complementary things. A little bit of both. Being independent means doing things on your own, as I said before, taking your own decisions, but without being free. If you're not able to move or to go where you want or do what you please, you can't take your own decisions. So I think it's really hard, if not impossible, to have one without the other. I'll go more to the independent part, but it's impossible to have independence without freedom.
Independent or free? Oh, that's a good one. I feel like I'm free now. I live in the U.S. So, freedom of speech. We can actually do whatever we want. I mean, there are rules, but I mean, I can deal with those rules so far. So, yeah.
Deep philosophical question. Okay. I'd rather be free because it sounds prettier, but it doesn't. I don't think it's achievable either one. Not really. Independence, I don't think it's achievable because we always need other people, whether it is physically or emotionally or spiritually. And freedom, how much a human being can be free, really?
If we were to take the two words, so independent, that to me is all good. Free, I mean, they say the best things in life are free, but at the same time, are they really? So I think I'm gonna go with independent.